is challenging for this is I can't see Facebook at the same time. So
Oh no.
Anyway, hi everyone. We attempted this interview yesterday, but technology was not working in our favor, and the microphone that I use multiple times a day decided it wasn't going to work anymore. So sorry about that. We had to reschedule for today, but I'm so happy to be on here and still getting used to this platform. So if you guys are hopping on, make sure you say hello to us and hi and whatever else you want to say. That's lovely, just so we can interact with you guys. But happy Tuesday. I am here today with my amazing, kind, loving, brilliant, and pregnant friend, Brooke Berndt. I wanted to get on here to talk to you guys about what it has been like for her. She has owned a brick and mortar company, a bar, and eventually she moved from that realm into the online business world. But anyway, I'm not going to share her story. So, Brooke, I just want you to, in a time like this, where a lot of brick and mortar companies have had to, temporarily shut their doors, just kind of tell us your experience in owning that type of business and take it from there.
Well, I feel like I'm reliving 2008 because that's when I owned my bar. I had it from 2002 to 2010, and it was a family-owned establishment with my parents. So it was our third business that we opened, that I put my money in, sweat equity, time, all the things. So it was my baby. And when 2008 hit, everybody's like, oh no, everybody was still going to bars. And I was like, that didn't happen. Everybody went to liquor stores and went home. And so we just saw our business just dwindling before our eyes. My parents still have their brick and mortar business of 37 years during this time. And I'm feeling it with them. I'm walking alongside them in it. My heart, this is such a tough time for people who own businesses. A brick and mortar one. And my heart is just going out to everyone, because even with the stimulus package, which, yes, it's great, but at the same time, it's not enough. I don't feel the uncertainty of it. It's just, there's so many layers, right? Like there's just so many layers. And when you have a staff that you're responsible for, and you have rent to pay, and you have insurance to pay, and for us it was a liquor license, and there's so many different layers to a brick and mortar business. I don't think people see how many layers that you're responsible for at the end of the day, and it's a huge weight. And if you I tell people all the time that, because people are like, I would love to own a bar. I'm like, awesome for you, but let me just tell you how hard it is. There's such a small margin that you're working with, because if you're shut down for a day, you need to make up for that day in the next day's business or the next day. And it's so impossible to make up for that loss when you are down. So we experienced loss after loss, day after day, and we couldn't catch up. And sadly, we were a small business owner who was in a strip mall that was bought out by a large conglomerate, and they had different plans for us. And we really wanted to stay and do the good fight, and stick with it. We had just signed a 10-year option. So it was like 25, well, not 25, but 20 years more in that space that we committed to only be forced out of our lease, which was just the icing on the cake, because they had plans to level it and make it a big box store, which is now a Target. So it was really unfortunate at the time, but for me, it was the biggest blessing. And I just want to instill hope in people right now, and not say it to be positive. I hate that right now. I think that is just such a disservice to people. I'm just trying to spread hope, because that was what was given to me when I was at my lowest low. And the hope that was spread to me was someone just being really bold and sharing on Facebook that they were feeling amazing, because when you lose a business that is your identity, that you have put your sweat equity, you put, like, a bar business is 7 days a week. You don't get time off. You're constantly married to it. I mean, especially when the bar closes at 2 a.m, you hardly sleep, because I slept from the period of 2 in the morning until 8 because I knew the bar was closed. I knew I could rest and take a deep breath. You just have no peace. But I know the heartache. But for me, that hope was someone posting on Facebook because they were feeling great. And I was in its deep, dark depression. Like I said, it was my identity. And I'd gained weight. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my purpose was. I was 37. I was like, what do I do next? Like, I had put so much on my credit cards to make that business go in the end that I personally took on the cost of running that bar in the end. There was no one bailing us out. Like everybody else got bailed out. Big business got bailed out, but we didn't. So I was just like putting UFC fights on my credit card. I was paying liquor bills on my credit card. You know, I was just incurring all this debt personally to try to make it go. And so I was just feeling this weight of the world on my shoulders after it closed because I didn't know what to do. We had a large sum of debt. And that was really hard on our marriage and hard on our relationship. We weren't married yet. We got married that summer, which we had to do very budget conscious. And, you know, I just was lost. And so this person of hope, this beacon of hope, this whisper, which I knew was God, was like, hey, I'm feeling great. She made this just really random post that caught my eye. And I was like, to my husband, I was like, hey, let's get healthy. I'm feeling terrible. I'm coming home every day and crying. And I needless to say, I took on a job walking dogs and loved that job because it wasn't the bar business. It was something that was happy. Like dogs were happy to see me. The bar business is so hard. It's a really hard business. It was very, I learned so much about business, but it was really tough. So, but dog walking and dog, you know, taking care of animals doesn't pay you well. I was making $300 a week walking dogs.
Okay.
But I was
knowing you, it was probably 100 dogs.
Oh, it was so, yeah, I was up at 6 a.m. walking in the snow and the rain and, you know, just trying to find myself in it and thinking maybe I'd go back to school, but I knew I couldn't take on school because we had this enormous amount of debt hanging over us. And yeah, it was a really dark time for me, even though I was trying to be positive. I mean, I would come home and watch Oprah and like, how are these people doing these epic things in the world where I am just in this darkness? I'm in this darkness daily. And we were also trying to get pregnant. So the backstory to that is that, you know, I really felt at that time getting pregnant was going to fill this void for myself. And it was a really difficult time because it wasn't happening for us, not in the manner that I wanted, not in my time. And people around us were getting pregnant left and right. I mean, they were looking at the wall getting pregnant. And I was like, what are we doing wrong? But so I found this nutritional system and shared it with my husband. He thought it was a joke. He's like, we're sending it back. I put it on a credit card. We were, again, living paycheck to paycheck. I don't even know how we were living, to be honest. You know, tried the products. My husband was like, this is a fad. We'll send it back at day 29. And I was like, okay, you know, just give me something here to hold on to. And by day 12, we felt completely amazing, like out of this world, how we're supposed to feel. Because, you know, when you're working in a bar world, I was binge eating, but then I was starving myself and I was trying to outwork a bad diet. It was just an awful cycle of life. And to add to the stress and all the things. So yeah, trying this nutritional system, I was like, oh, heck yeah, let's do this. Husband wasn't completely on board, but he's like, I'll do it with you. We'll just send it back because we shared a pack. And again, like he lost 12 pounds and everybody's like, whoa, Kenny, what are you doing, homie? And he was just like, oh, I'm doing this system. You know, he would share with some people at work. And I was sharing very much on the down low because as a business owner, thinking I know everything it is about business, I was like, oh, network marketing, ooh, gross. I don't want to be a part of that. Because I had seen some friends in it. What I had saw was not what I aligned with at all. And so I just automatically assumed that was the entire industry, right? Because I only got just a little blip.
Yeah, I just talked about that yesterday. Yeah. I was like, I totally was talking about that yesterday, how everyone has this preconceived notion about network marketing, which is valid. It has a stigma attached to it, but
yeah. Well, unfortunately, people have done it wrong. It's easy to do wrong. That's what's hard. That's what's hard about our industry and what just hurts my heart. People, you know, there's not great leadership in companies. There's not great companies. They're not great corporate companies. Come on. I mean, look at the world. Like, Apple is probably sued daily. Like, it's just, whatever. So for us, we were sharing and on the down low, very much so on the down low. And then we got paid. And it was really this $54 number that completely changed the trajectory of our life. So I woke up to an email and it's like, you've earned $54. And I was like, wait, I don't even know how. But it was residual income. It was income from, we enrolled some people and they ordered again. And so it was income that we made in our sleep. So my business mind went, whoa. What I would have had to have done to earn that money was bartend behind the bar for 10 hours and deal with a lot of stuff. And got walked like 5,000 dogs, I mean, it really just was like, whoa, what is this income? Because I was born in a household where it was like, you work hard in a business, you get paid through the business. That's how you get money. Mm-hmm. It was never like residual income never was talked about in my household. And it's cyclic, right? Because my grandmother owned a bar business. So it was just like in the family. So we never talked about residual income. I don't think it's talked about enough, unfortunately. And so, I just light bulb went off, and then I'm just asking questions. And that's what like hurts my heart so bad about this time is I don't feel like people are grabbing on to, in every crisis, there's opportunity everywhere. I'm telling you, opportunity is like coming to me every day. And I'm like, because I'm just asking questions. I'm curious, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what hurts me about this industry is people aren't asking enough of the right questions for themselves. Like, how do I earn money in this company? They'll join a company because people are doing it, but they don't really understand, like, how am I truly going to earn an income for my family loving this product or sharing this product? They don't really know. They just jump in like blindly and just like, whatever. But for me, I was like, how am I earning this income? Like, really, I want to know. So I saw this like bright, shiny blonde at this event that I was invited to because I was like, oh, I'm going to go to this event. If it is about like grossness that, boats, yachts, and all the things, barf, I am so out of this. Like, I really did. I was like, no. But I just saw this shiny blonde and I was like, who's this blonde? And it was you. And so, you were just like, here's where I'm going. And it's funny because you had the posture that you were going somewhere. You were earning that much money. I think you were like crystal manager or something in our company. That wasn't like a lot, but it was a lot in the world. And I was like, I want to know what she's about. But then I was invited to an event and I came home and told my husband, who was really like just in complete shock about all of it happening. Mind you, he'd lost 50 pounds and he was like feeling amazing and we were just feeling awesome, but he really wasn't open to the income opportunity, what that meant. I was like, I need to get on a plane and go to Vegas. we got no money, but I'm going to Vegas and let's do this because why not? Why not? And it was that beacon of hope, right? It was God just whispering to me, like, you got to open your mind to this. You have to open your mind to this because you're going to stay in this little spot over here and it's dark and it's bad. And I don't want you here. I want you over here. It's going to suck and it's going to hurt. And it's going to be painful. You're going to lose some friends. You're going to, your parents are going to be like, what are you doing? Your husband's even going to question you. But I knew with every fiber of my being, it gives me the goosebumps.
I have goosebumps too.
I had to get on that plane, boo. And you helped me get on that plane. You gave me a buddy pass. I was broke as broke. And I took all my product and I was like, I'm getting on this plane. I'm going to learn. And I was like, Lord, just tell me. He just kept saying, do this. And I was obedient. I tell you, I just put blinders on. I was like, I don't care what you say to me. I don't care what you say to me. That's fine. You can tell me what I'm doing is just whatever. I don't care. I know that this is my path. So got on that plane. Learn so much about the industry. Our company does that so well. They don't just like hype themselves. They hype the whole entire industry, which I love that about them. So I was like, okay, this is exciting. So what does this mean? I was just a student. I was like asking questions. I was like, who are you? And what have you done in this company? And people are just giving me left and right permission to like do stuff. And it never happened for me before. In the bar business, it's a cutthroat. As a woman, it is a cutthroat, ugly, nasty business. It's not always pretty. And you have to, there's sides of yourself that come out and you're like, this is not me. This is not who I am. So you got to fight. And so that fight that I had in my bar business, I took into grit and I got to work and I was like, okay, cool. This is the plan. I understand the compensation plan. I'm going to come back and serve people best I can. I didn't know what I was doing. I That's what people say to me all the time. They're like, oh gosh, I can't do what you do. And I'm like, girl, if you look at like this video I did like 7 years ago where I'm like talking like just a loon, I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't care. I knew that I would be growing and earning as I went along. And it was just so fun. I'm a yellow. So I love to have fun. This industry is like beyond fun. And you can just be yourself. Gosh, what a weight off. Like you don't have to go and be someone who you're not to fulfill a role in a job that you don't love. You know, you can just be you. So I did. I came back. I was on fire. Just was sharing it with as many people as I could. And my parents thought I was crazy. My dad thought I was nuts. My husband was like, what are we doing? He didn't know which way was up. I took him to an event. He's like, what did you get me into? And because he's not the rah-rah guy, you know, but then he met some really awesome men and mentors, again, that were just like, here, let me give you some information. Let me give you some like, oh gosh, guidance that we've never had. We never had that type of guidance that we found in this profession. So our 7-year anniversary is coming up in May that we decided to say yes. There are 2 people that I enrolled right when I got started. It was my husband and my sister-in-law and just 2 people. But now there's 9,000 people in our beautiful business organization that I'm still proud of. I'm so proud because some of them just use products, great, awesome, perfect. And some of them take advantage of the income opportunity, which yesterday in our business organization, 35 people got paid. And in this climate and the heat and the heaviness of where we're at, that's huge because a lot of people have gone to zero. I'm sure I'm talking to several people or people are listening that have gone to zero. Mm-hmm. I told myself after I lost my bar business, I would never not have just one income stream for myself. Mm-hmm. Like just for I'm not talking about our household because, you know, we have multiple now and it is like huge for us. I am not in that place that I was then now. Right? I am so equipped. And I was like, oh, we're going to get through this. Whereas a lot of people aren't. And that hurts my heart. So
for people who own a business right now, like I know that they have a lot of fear, like, and it's valid fear right now going on. And all they're concerned about, rightfully so, is how do they get their business back open? You know, I see the loans, they're delayed. They're not coming through. They're not getting approved. And so what kind of advice do you have? What hope can we offer people to bring an income stream in right now that can help support their business until their customers are able to come back to them?
If I would have partnered with a company like our company back then when I had my bar, I sold Budweiser should be paying me, Jägermeister should be still paying me, and they're not. And so what I encourage people to look at is go find a company that you align with the products and that you can start sharing now because you're at home. I mean, you can't, unless you're doing to-go orders and all the things, like just find an opportunity and products that you can really align with. And why not have this as a piggyback? I have a friend who owns a beautiful paleo gluten-free restaurant in downtown Denver, who I absolutely love. Okay. And she was on Diners, Drives, Dives, Drive-ins. I was actually on that show with her to support her. And unfortunately the shutdown happened and then they highlighted her on the show. So she couldn't even like be open to benefit from that deluge of people coming in. Right. So she's shifted and pivoted and shifted. She's also partnered with a network marketing company. It's not our company, but she's partnered with a beautiful company that she's smart. She's a smart cookie and she'll make it through this. So she also has that income coming in. So she's not worried about that for herself. This income is coming in as she's trying to keep her restaurant a go. Mm-hmm. That's awesome because where my parents are at right now, they have nothing except like Social Security and all stuff coming in, but they don't have another stream of income coming in. So I encourage owners, operators, brick and mortar businesses to really look at an opportunity, and especially one where I feel right now is where you're eating your overhead. It has always made sense to me. If there's something that you are putting in your body every day that you can maximize for your health and your well-being and for people around you, because everybody's eating food. I think that's really optimal right now because I do see a lot of people going into the retail space right now with our industry, which I don't down, but at the same time, people are buying retail, y'all. They are not thinking about retail. They are thinking about how they're going to feed their families. So if you can feed yourself and make an income, it is a win, 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 win. Our company hasn't slowed down. We're all still getting paid. Our company is actually in momentum again because of this, which is totally where we were in 2000 when I came in 2013. We were in crazy momentum. So it's just happening again. And it's cyclic. Recessions are cyclic, but you have to be prepared. So my call is to people is that there's hope and looking at opportunity around you and just being open and just learning. Like, if it's not for you, freaking awesome, but at least take the time. When someone messages you about this, they think you'd be great for it, or they think it'd help your life, like open your mind to it. If it's a genuine, awesome message. I've gotten prospect investment people are not genuine. They're copy and paste. Don't copy and paste. You're making our industry look bad. That is not the way you do it. That is lazy. That is uncaring. That is unkind. That is ungenuine. But when you are aligned to be like, hey, this could be for you. I really care about you. Please take a look. Huge things can happen.
100%. I agree so much, because even if you take a look there and it's not for you, maybe it's for someone like, maybe someone who has a business that's struggling or got laid off or lost their job, like something like that. Unemployment is like not coming through for people. I have friends waiting on it, and it's like everything is delayed and stuck and on hold. And we have nothing but time right now to take a look at these opportunities and really see if they can provide some sort of relief to our families, to our businesses in any way, shape, or form right now. And there's like literally nothing to lose and only gain info. So I love your story. It excites me so much. And thank you for taking the time to be on here and provide hope to people who are really feeling stuck. We can get you unstuck. You don't have to just live in that fear every day and not do something about it. Like, action is the best way to combat fear and to just really get out of your own way and, create something new for yourself.
Yeah, I say right now, my motto is I choose to live by choice, not by chance. And it's huge, because when you're living by chance, that's when you're relying on the government's paycheck, which, y'all, I'm telling you, it's going to be a hot mess. Some are getting it, but at the same time, don't live by that. Like, take advantage of something. Just shift your mind. Look at your life. Like, we did a whole download of how we can pivot right now. And I'm telling you, it's been like huge for us. Like, we've actually have more money coming in now than we did when we were in that place. We were like grinding, but then we like took a step back. I'm like, God, the blessing in this right now for us is that it caused us to pause and shift and pivot and pivot and pivot. And we're like, oh my gosh. I mean, I have another opportunity presenting itself on Thursday that I'm like, I didn't even realize until God was like, you just need to open your mind, girl. And here I am again, opening my mind yet again. So I encourage, if you are that hope and you, the tug, that is a whisper. And that is something that is telling you to take a look, no matter if the world's telling you no. Because the world will always tell you no. And the world's always going to tell you no. So that's my 2 cents, y'all.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.